Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I'm live. Hell yeah. What's up, everybody? So good to have you here. You know, I've been watching a lot of Bailey Sarian videos lately, and if you don't know her, just stop what you're doing and make her a part of your life. She does murder mystery makeup on YouTube. She's a huge YouTuber. She has like 7 million subscribers, which that sounds like a lot of pressure, but good for her. Um, And what's so great about her videos is not the true crime, because like you can find out the story anywhere. It's like hanging out with Bailey. And so I guess that my goal, hi Michelle, I guess my goal is like I want to be more myself and just like we can enjoy the experience of hanging out together, because you can go a lot of places on YouTube for this advice or anywhere on the internet for this advice, but you come to me. Why? I don't really know, but but I just want to be less like respect my authority and more just like this is me. We're chilling together as homies. Hi Tara. If I mispronounced anyone's name, just don't come at me. So, welcome to this video about preparing for 72s. Okay, so the reason why I want to do this is because I am straight up, girl, yes. Thank you so much. And anyone has a problem with anything I do on these videos, because I know some people are like, you are too, whatever, personal or something. But you know what? That's just me. That's just who I am. If you don't like it, there's literally like, there's so many other places you can go. There's so many. Go there. Like, no hard feelings. What is that I read recently? And it's very bumper stickery and like TikTok feminism, but I still love it. I still love it. It's like, it said, if I'm too much, go get less or something like that. I mean, I can't force anybody to be here. So the reason why I wanted to do this particular video is because we are about to start a month of 72s. Okay, we'll get to that in just a minute. But first of all, we're starting this in like a couple of days, right? So like, when are we starting this? We're starting this like, is it tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? I think it's Monday. Dude, I don't know. October 1st, whenever that is. It might be tomorrow. But the point is that we're about to start. And the cool thing about it is that um, there are ways that you can prepare even at the last minute mentally, because in a lot of these videos I talk about the physical preparation, okay? And all of my 72s videos I talk about you need to get physically prepared by getting into ketosis. Tomorrow, thank you so much. Will I be doing videos every day? I do wish that I could do that. I cannot, because I have so many things. I have a full-time job, and I'm actually the social media specialist for a school at a university. So I do that. And then I'm also a marketing graduate student. So I do that. And then I also have a 5-year-old. So I do that. And then I have all the other things of life, like where you have to like wash your butthole. You know what I mean? Just like I have to continue washing my butthole until I die. This stupid body requires so much maintenance. I have to like put on mascara. I have to pay bills. I have to get my brakes fixed. I have to shop for groceries and prepare food. I have to make sure that my daughter doesn't smell like the Dickens when she goes off to school. I have to drive her to school every morning. They want her back there every day. So there's a lot. There's a lot. So my goal for throughout the challenge is to post a Patreon now allows you to upload videos, short videos directly to the site. So my goal is to do that every day and to continue to go live periodically whenever I'm able on YouTube throughout the month. So that is my goal. In Patreon, which is patreon.com/shit. What is it? Box Force Fitness. I posted a calendar and it's decorated with little Halloween things. You're welcome. That shows like our refeed days and our fasting days. So I designed this month. I decided to start us with an eating day on the 1st so that we end with an eating day on the 31st so that we can all celebrate Halloween. You're welcome. You're welcome. But I talk in my videos about how to prepare physically. There's no more iced coffee left in this. Garçon, coffee. Movie reference. If you know it, comment it. But I talk about getting into ketosis with low carb keto. I talk about progressively extending your fast from 16 hours all the way up to 72s. And so I talk about how you gradually prepare your body to not only burn fat in ketosis, but also to start burning your own fat, right? So I talk about that a lot, but I don't talk as much about how to prepare mentally for 72-hour fast back to back to back to back. That's a whole ass thing. And there's a way that I get into the mindset that I want to share with you that might be helpful to you. So the way that I do it is that I I basically think of myself like an athlete in training in a way. So I very much put myself in a mode where I take myself out of real ordinary everyday life, just like an athlete. Like if you're an athlete, and let's say that you're a sprinter and you're preparing to go to the Olympics, and you're like, okay, it's a month or 6 months. I don't know what they do. I'm clearly not a sprinter, but okay, I have this set period of time, and now I'm in training because the Olympics are coming up. And so for that period of time, it's not normal life anymore. That is the way that I look at it. I prepare myself like, okay, this is not everyday Kristen life. This is doing a month of 72s. I put it on my calendar. I put a dry erase board on my fridge. I write down my refeed a day or two before. Ideally, you want to do it when you're pretty full, like right after you eat. So like I'll eat tomorrow and I'll write down and be like, bam, this is what I'm going to eat on Wednesday. And if it's not on that board, I can't eat it. You almost have to think of yourself as two people, and one of them is the athlete and one of them is the coach. Kim K preparing for the Met. That's certainly a lot of words. I think you mean, okay, yes, okay, sure. I get these references. I'm cool. Kim Kardashian, who I hear is a very popular young lady, and the Met Gala. Yes. Does she do that? Does she have a whole ass routine? I can see that being a thing. Thank you so much for having the faith in me to know what those things are. Um, so anyway, yes, but yes. So you have to think. I'm putting that up here so people think that I know stuff. So you have to think of yourself like you're your own coach. Is the way that I think of it. And if you've ever been in therapy, then you kind of know this concept where you have to sort of parent your inner child a little bit. Like sometimes you have to be like, no, no, Kristen, we're going to be grown-ups today and not do that, and it can be really hard. She lost 17 pounds in 2.5 weeks. Damn. Was she like coming off a pregnancy or something? Or like, I mean, that's like obese man shit, because I've seen some obese men lose. Like, I think I had a dude who lost that much weight on about on like a on like 172, but he was really big. So Arzita asks, what about during period? Should we just continue regular 72s during our cycle? Hey, that's a good question. Let's talk about it. So it depends. This is such a difficult thing to answer because it depends entirely on your body and your experience on your period and your goals, what you can tolerate and what works for you. So let me tell you what I would do. And I just answered a similar question for one of my patrons the other day on Patreon, where she was like, how come I can fast any other time but my period? And I said, okay, well, your mileage may vary. Some people like to cycle carbs and eat a little bit more carbs during their period because they crave them. Hi, humanoid. I'm like, oh, Medusoid humanoid. Medusa's the shit, bro. Um, so like what I do to control my carb cravings is I eat fewer carbs, because I found that throughout my life, the only time that my period didn't completely fuck me up was when I didn't eat any carbs at all, and I was like strict carnivore. The more carbs I eat, the more hunger signaling I have, and the more I want to eat carbs. So if I were you, I would control your period cravings by cutting carbs back even more and being like ketovore on your refeeds. Just because, in my personal experience, that's what works. The less carbohydrate I eat. I mean, if I'm literally just eating like super high fat and no carbs, like if I'm eating like a steak with some cream cheese and maybe some olives, I'm not going to get the carb cravings that I would have if I was trying to like add in a little bit. Just me personally, and you might be different, but for me personally, if I give myself an inch carb wise, then I take a mile carb wise. Like if I'm just like, oh, I'll just have a little tea, I'm eating the whole, like, I can't just be, and I tried doing this because that's what all the like evidence based, fitness people tell you. And I'm a certified precision nutrition level 1 coach. And they teach you this, like, that sometimes just having a little bit will help control your cravings. Well, for me, it's the opposite. If I have a little, like, because I'm a peanut butter slut. Like, I could sit down right now and eat a jar of peanut butter and it wouldn't even be hard. Like, easy breezy. But if I'd be like, oh, I'm just going to have like 2 spoonfuls of peanut butter, I'm so dainty. What will happen is I will eat the entire fucking jar. I'm going to sneeze. Carbs are evil. They are evil. We're Sorry about that. We're supposed to like embrace them. And I definitely, when I was training, look, if you're under a barbell, then eat some carbs. You're going to really struggle if you don't. If your goal, and see, this is why it's so important to know what your goal is. If you're on a bulk and your goal is to just get stronger and put fucking plates on that bar, then you're going to need carbs. Thank you, Laura. Um, However, if your goal is to cut, then in my opinion, for most of us, especially as ladies, just stay away from them. It's just going to make your life easier. And that goes back to the mental preparation I was talking about. If you're thinking of this as a brief, temporary condition where, like, okay, I just have to get through the next month. If you can get through the next month, then if you think about it as getting through the next month, then you can do almost anything. I talk a lot about how important it is to have muscle. I've had somebody message me recently and she was like, well, I'm trying to lose, 20 pounds and I weigh 150 pounds and I'm 5'7", but I want to get down to my goal weight and I just can't lose anymore. I'm fasting, fasting, fasting. Well, at this point, you're doing it all wrong. You're not overweight. You are under muscled. Dr. Mindy Peltz, yes, recommends eating some carbs. She says progesterone has us craving carbs. So sure, my progesterone is historically very low and doesn't get that high, but I still crave carbs. Um, Again, I know her. I've read the book, or I didn't really read the entire book, I'll be honest with you. But I did buy it and read some of it. I think that some of her advice is good. I think it doesn't apply to all of us because some of us are kind of hormonally effed up. And it's just like I say to any type of like, hey, here's this expert's advice. Like, cool. I probably have read that expert's advice. And honestly, I probably tried it because I did try like everything. But a lot of the experts have never been morbidly obese people who tried everything. And she might have really good advice that works for like a lot of people and even the majority of people. But most of us get to my channel because none of that shit worked. That's probably why you're here. And cycling carbs just didn't work for me. It just increased my carb cravings. And, that's why when I was lifting weights, I gained quite a bit of weight because I wasn't really controlling carbs. I was like, oh, I can have a little. Tee doesn't really work for me. Complex carbs are better if you're pumping massive amounts. I might need to finally sign up for gym again. So let's talk about that briefly because I've been encouraging people to get under the barbell. So what am I doing here talking about 72s again? Well, I can't be under the barbell right now because of the surgery that I had and the complications that I had after it. And I have to wait probably another few weeks before I can do it. So that's why I'm doing this. But that lady I was just talking about who, once you get down to a certain weight, you're just going to like, your body's going to have a really massive metabolic adaptation. I was at like 140 pounds and trying to do like an 8-day fast. And what happened was what happens is your body is going to slow down your metabolism, hold on to fat. You don't have enough muscle at that point to burn any fat. At that point, you're just going to burn protein because you're just skinny fat. And so many of us are not, it's not weight. It's not your weight. It's the problem. A lot of you, it's not your weight. It's the problem. It is your body composition. And you need to get the F away from the scale and the fasting and go get under a barbell. To everything, there is a season. We have to remember this. Like fasting, 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 hard, hard, hard is not always the answer. You have to cycle that shit, dude. So, like, I'm here right now because I can't train. If you are getting close to your goal weight, if you're not super obese, and you're just like, damn, why isn't my weight loss plan working? Go gain some muscle and watch what happens and watch how efficiently you burn it. Our whole goal is to get to the point where we don't have to diet for the rest of our lives. You're not going to do that if the only tool that you have in your toolbox is just fasting. Fasting on 72s is the laziest fucking way to lose weight. It is super effective. It works super fast. But if it stops working, that's a sign. You need more muscle on your bones. Skeletal muscle is super efficient at using carbohydrate. Insulin resistance begins in the skeletal muscle. If you are not paying attention to that, you are doing damage to yourself in the long run. And I know, nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to fucking get under the barbell. Just like, oh, fasting is so much easier. I get it. But dude, you have to look at the long term. You can't do this forever. Don't do what I did and fast hard for too long because you will eventually just hit the wall and you won't be able to lose anymore. So, like, you may be watching this and you're like, okay, she's probably right, but I'm just going to do it anyway. And like, relatable because that's what I did. But, if you're here and you're going to do it anyway, then probably what's going to happen is what happened to me, where I just hit the wall. So you'll know, I guess, if you're going to do this anyway, if you're here and you're still super obese, then like just embrace it, do some 72s. But if you're here and you're not very obese, then or you're just trying to lose the last 20 30 pounds, this is not the best thing probably for you to be doing. You should probably be gaining some muscle, but I already said that. Yes, so I'm just gonna like scroll up a little bit. After eating carbs during my cycle, it's really difficult to get back on track. Yes, so like it just teaches your body like how to be a carb burning machine again, and then you have to transition back to ketosis and teach your body how to burn fat. Once you're teaching your body how to burn dietary fat and your body gets the hang of it, you feel it, you're like, okay, and then ketosis, this isn't so hard. Your body stops telling you like, eat carbs, motherfucker, and you're like feeling pretty good, and then you can transition back into fasting and then your body can burn your own fat. Dope. So what time would be best tomorrow to have a meal and what's best to eat? Great question, Tara, who is joining my October Rolling 72s challenge. And if you would like to join that challenge, you can join Patreon at any level. And there's a calendar on there, and I'll be doing little short videos in there on there. So like it depends on you. So like me personally, I get home from work at about I leave work about 2:30. I pick up my daughter, and so I get home at about 3:15 and eat. Okay, that's the plan. However, my experience with rolling 72s is sometimes you wake up early because you can't sleep. And I'm going to do a whole video on sleeping on 72s because you might need help. You might need like melatonin or some type of over the counter sleep aid. And like, that's not normally something that I would recommend, but this is just a month. Okay. I'm not telling you to go on this for the rest of your life or even for a year. It's a month. So you might consider something like melatonin that will help you go to sleep and stay asleep, because one of the problems with fasting, and it's outside the scope of this video, I've done tons of videos about it, is your cortisol and other stress hormones increase and you might have trouble staying asleep. So one of the things that I had to do when I was doing 72s, especially towards the end of my I did 20 of these back to back in 2020. Is that I would have to get up early in the morning and eat because I just couldn't stay asleep. And sometimes I would even be able to go back to sleep. But it just got really hard to sleep past like 5 or 6 in the morning. So you might have to get up and eat first thing. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to stay asleep. Um, for me, the ideally it would be like in the afternoon, but not too late. Just because I don't really like to eat too late before I go to sleep. It's not really ideal. It's not that great for your blood glucose overnight. So I would try not to eat super late, like maybe 4 or 5 hours before you go to sleep. As far as what you eat, it also depends on you. The lower you keep your carbohydrate, probably the more weight you're going to lose, and definitely the less hungry you're going to be throughout this month. So then some people are like, no, the only way I got through it was by, having some like a, maybe some like Lily's chocolate bar or like some, Rebel ice cream on my refeed. I will say now if that doesn't affect your cravings and you're able to do that, then do it. But I will also say that some people find that, you know okay, so this will depend on how much weight you have to lose. If you have a lot to lose, then you're going to have more flexibility with your refeed as far as like continuing to lose weight. If you are a very big person, you can eat more and you can eat a little bit more calories and not that great of food on your refeed and still lose, obviously. If you are, a smaller person, duh, you can't really get away with eating as much. But the fact that you're only eating once every 72 hours, you could get away with eating more food and not the best food than if you were, doing 48s or 24s or something. That's just common sense. So for me, okay, on my 72s, I have this routine where I eat this big. I actually have I think I put the recipe on my Patreon. I might even put the video on Patreon, but it's actually the video might be on YouTube, but it's called my big ass Greek salad. And what it is like salad, obviously, but I just put all this shit in it and it just makes it like exciting to eat. And it's also delicious. The recipe is on here somewhere. And if you can't find it, let me know. But it's like this Greek salad. And I actually put like chicken strips, fried chicken strips in it. Um, it doesn't seem to keep me from losing weight, and they're easy to make in the oven and they're very delicious. It's obviously not like the best, most nutritious thing. It's probably got like seed oils. I'm sure it has like gluten. It's just not great for you, but fuck, I'm doing this for a month. Like, who cares? Um, Numbers don't matter compared to how you look and feel. Amen, sister. I was 557. Is this Jimmy? I was 557, now 338. I'm glad you are back doing 72s. Can't wait to start with you. That is great. And I'm so glad to see you here. And I'm glad that you're joining the challenge. Hell yes. I remember you. And I'm glad that you are back. We are going to get you below, what are you at now? 338. Let's get you into the 200s. Like, let's do that. I'm probably the exact same weight right now, but because I lived off of keto snacks for a couple of months, my body composition went mushy. It'll do that. There's not so much information on the internet. I've been in fasting, doing rolling 72s for 2 months, almost 20 kilos down. I was wondering if you saw any kidney issues. I have not seen any kidney issues. I don't know why you would. There's kind of like a myth that high protein does something to your kidneys. But I actually had my liver and kidney function tested, and I was on Zoom with the doctor, and he was like, "Wow, your liver and kidney function are excellent." And I was like, "Thank you." I feel so like, I don't know, just such a cool compliment. My liver and kidney are great. Oh, he did say that my liver enzymes were slightly elevated at some point. I forget. No, my liver enzymes were not elevated. Oh, it was after my surgery. It was after my surgery later that the doctor said your liver is slightly enlarged, but your liver function is perfect. And it may have had some, that was when I was in the ER after surgery with a major complication. So it probably had something to do with that. So during the challenge, are you going to help your Patreon subscribers with accountability as well? I mean, this is something that like I feel like I would love for Patreon to be like a community where it's kind of like peer support, but that's really up to you guys. Like I encourage it, but there's nothing I can really do about it. Like I would say, I'm going to be posting in there daily, so like check in, tag each other. That's all I can really do for you. Like I will be on there posting videos, and I would love to see other people on there commenting and tagging each other. I would absolutely love to see that. My Clotho levels increased crazily, about 1800. I do 30 minutes in the arc trainer. I don't know what any of that means, but I mean, Uh, I don't know what that means. I've got about 50 pounds to lose. That's not hard to do. You're probably gonna, if you really only have 50 pounds to lose, you'll probably struggle a bit on this. Just saying. When I started rolling 72s the first time, I had 140 pounds to lose. When I started doing this with about 50 pounds to lose, it was really hard. Do you recommend 30, 40 minutes of cardio during the month of rolling 72s? If you want. If you want. You don't have to. I mean, I'm not going to tell you not to do cardio, but if you're on a cut, so you may as well, yeah, why not? What about phentermine? So if you look at the data on phentermine, it's pretty valuable in the first few weeks of weight loss and not so much beyond that. I did not like it. I have had blood pressure issues in the past, and so that worried me a bit. It didn't really help me much after about 2 weeks, maybe a week. I just don't really see the point in it. If you feel like it will help you just get started, then why not? Thank you so much. You are welcome. Hope it is better now after the surgery. I actually haven't checked. The ER doctor was like, I wouldn't worry about it. So I haven't. And I actually really forgot about it until I just said that. Yeah, I'm not worried about it. It's funny. Lane Norton, I don't know if you know who he is. He's an evidence-based nutrition guy. He is a bodybuilder. He has a PhD in nutrition. He's a very smart dude. He has a really popular YouTube channel, and he's not, he looks at a lot of he publishes a sort of review of journal articles about nutrition, and actually, Rosita, yes, I'm highlighting that to remind me to answer something about that in a second. But he's somewhat critical of fasting and keto, and pretty much just says if it works for you, then do it, but it's not magical, which I kind of agree with that. Although if it does work for you, then it can certainly seem magical. So, but yeah, he actually says in one of his videos that if having looked at all of these studies and data and being very critical of them over years and years, and does videos about them, he said on a video that I watched a few months ago, he said, if I were diagnosed with cancer, the first thing that I would do is go keto. So that should say something to you. So if you're worried about cancer risk, and aren't we all? Because just being in an inflammatory state from the standard American diet is a cancer risk, right? And being obese is a cancer risk, and all these things. So if you're worried about your health, being in ketosis, including fasting ketosis, can be really powerfully therapeutic for a lot of these conditions, as we know. So sorry, I'm trying to keep up with all your comments and answer as many as I can before I have to go. I'm taking my daughter to see the Paw Patrol movie, and all I can say about that is thank God for AirPods. So you have a birthday on the 14th. So happy early birthday. And I encourage everyone to have a cheat meal sometime this month where you literally just eat what the fuck ever you want for that 1 hour refeed. Just go nuts, dude. And so that might be the 14th. For me, it's going to be Halloween. I feel like Halloween is the obvious thing for October, but whatever, do whatever you want. It's just like this pressure release valve on the system where you can just know that you have that coming. It keeps you from, getting overwhelmed, and also it enables you to maintain control over your eating, right? So you're not just gonna lose your shit. Because you have control over it, and you plan it, and you know what you're gonna eat and when and with who. It enables you to have that release of pressure, but also to maintain control over this. How long can it take to lose 50 pounds doing 72s? I hate this question. No offense to you at all, because everyone has this question, but there's no way to answer it. I have it written down in my journals that I was keeping. And by the way, writing things down could be really helpful to remember when you look back, how you did and what worked and what didn't, because you will forget. You think that you'll remember, but you won't. I think that I lost about 45 to 50 pounds in the 2 months that I did rolling 72s. But I also had a lot to lose. And I also was extremely strict. I didn't deviate one time. Do you have coffee on your fasting days? Do you put a little fat in it, like MCT oil or butter? Yeah, I will put some like non-sugar creamer in coffee and also have diet soda. For some people, this won't work because it'll make your cravings too bad. I would say try it out. Like, why not? And just see what happens. In my experience, it didn't really seem to. I still lost a lot of weight. So, but people have had different experiences. So it depends on the person, how much weight you have to lose, how much of it you have, and what it does to your cravings. So you probably just have to try and see what happens. 50 pounds to lose. Um, thank you. Keeping it off is the hardest part, mainly because, you run out of tools in the toolbox and you're like, and this is why I encourage you guys to learn how to gain muscle because eventually you will have to find a way to maintain and you're gonna really struggle if you just are skinny fat. I think I have a couple. When are you starting, Sadie? We're starting tomorrow, I guess, but we're eating tomorrow. So um, you can join my Patreon at any level. That my Patreon is slash Fox Force Fitness. And I think I have a $5 level. And I've got like, so the reason I do Patreon is because, oh my God, just like if this is too big, right? It's too big. And so on Patreon, it's like nucleus. And then we can just like be a tight little group of people who actually do it. Because, when I had a Facebook group, which I deleted Facebook, but that was 1,500 people. And the problem is like people who are actually doing it get lost in the shovel of people who are not. And so like $5 a month is nothing. It's a coffee. And then it's like, okay, well, I've committed, I invested something and I'm in this small like core group. And so I would love for people to be more active on there. I wasn't active on there at all for months. But I've like necromanced my Patreon because I need that like small group of people that actually want to do it and are doing it. And that's a good way to like weed out the people who aren't serious is just to ask for like a token amount of like, here, thank you. I'm going to buy you a coffee once a month and you're going to like, maintain this page and post a calendar and whatever. So we start tomorrow. Um, yeah, we can totally do a lifting month. That'd be a fun challenge as well. Like to have a month where we all lift 3 times a week. I'm hoping to get back to it in November. So maybe we'll plan for that. But like, um, there's a calendar on there. We're gonna start eating on uh tomorrow we're gonna eat and then we're gonna do fast, fast, eat all month. And that puts us ending on October 31st, which is Halloween. And dude, we just moved into this new neighborhood. These people have money. We're totally LARPing as people with money. It's just me and two of my brothers. We've got a place together and it's like it's a huge house in a nice neighborhood because we're living here together. And this is the kind of neighborhood, and it's right by a school, which is why I moved here because my daughter's school is right here. But it's the kind of neighborhood where you just know that these fools decorate and they give out like the full size chocolate bars. Do you know what I'm talking about? On a weekday morning at 7:15, driving my daughter to school, this place is just there's kids everywhere. So I know that Halloween is gonna be fucking lit. So I don't know who you're gonna be for Halloween. I'm gonna be Weird Barbie. I'm gonna be Weird Barbie. Be Weird Barbie. I'm so excited to be Weird Barbie. I'm planning this party for an event at work, and I am gonna be Weird Barbie at work. I'm gonna be Weird Barbie on Halloween. I'll even do a live stream as Weird Barbie. How about that? You know what? I just said it. I'm gonna do this last day of the month, refeed day, October 31st. I'm gonna be Weird Barbie live streaming on here to celebrate the fact that we did it. So just like eyes on the prize. My whole point of this live stream was to say this, and I ended up answering a whole bunch of questions instead, which is totally fine. Put yourself in a headspace where you're your own coach and you're not going to let yourself not win the fucking gold medal. You've been training for this, okay? So like just understand that it's only a month. It's a month. You can do anything for a month. And the cool thing about this is you're going to get all of this like discipline practice, and discipline transfers to other types of discipline, right? So like becoming a mom made me so much more disciplined. If I had not become a mom and learned how to suffer, right? Like get up at 2 a.m. and feed a human and just like struggle and suffer, then I wouldn't have been able to actually, if I had not gone through the struggle and the discipline of infertility, I don't think I would have been as good of a mom. And if I didn't go through the struggle and suffering of being a mother and postpartum depression, everything that I went through in the first 2 years of her life, I don't think I would have been able to do rolling 72s and lose weight. And if I hadn't done rolling 72s and lost weight, I don't think I would have been able to become a pretty damn good lifter in 6 months. I lifted for like 6 months and I got my deadlift up to 250 and my squat up to 205. And I'm a woman and I'm not like a huge woman. I'm not like a She-Hulk, you know? And I really feel like discipline leads to more discipline. So you're going to do this and it's going to make you more disciplined in every aspect of your life. It's going to make you mentally and physically tougher. It's going to teach you how to suffer. And like I always say, suffering is a life skill. Like the ultimate zombie apocalypse survival skill is just suffering. Like if you know how to do that, then you can just survive when other people can't. It's really amazing. And you actually learn to like it a little bit because as you're experiencing it, you're like, okay, this sucks, but I'm getting stronger. It's like every time I would finish a set of squats, I would be like shaking and like, holy shit, I just did that. The adrenaline, like that was horrible, but I did it. So this has taken too long. My bad. And now I have to hurry up and get ready for Paw Patrol. What did I just say about suffering though? Right? Like I will be stronger after I go see Paw Patrol. Thank you so much for being here. I would not be here without all of you. I'm really happy to have you. We are our own little tribe of people who struggle to lose weight, and we found this way that works. And if we do it correctly and we're smart about it, it is so effective, it's safe, and it can be really transformative. So let's do this. Let's do a cut so we can do a bulk later. Let's get ourselves to a point where we are ready to gain some muscle. That's what it's all about, is getting stronger, getting our body composition right with muscle where it needs to be and fat where it needs to be. All about it. So thank you for being here. We start tomorrow. If you want to join us, patreon.com/FoxForce Fitness. You can subscribe at any level, including the $5 level. I don't care. If you join at the $25 level, you get merch and like some other shit I don't remember. Thank you again for being here. And I'm very excited. And I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Bye.